to Haiti, which is why you're joining us this evening. So Kenya is set to deploy about, from my reading, 200 police officers to Haiti within the next couple of weeks. But there are those who argue, given the gangs in Haiti have now come together, the two main gangs, and are quote unquote living together, there are those who feel that we need a bigger contingent sooner. So how soon after the first 200 will we have the remaining 800 joining their colleagues?
First of all, this is an operational issue, and there are people who are trained on matters of logistics and deployment. And clearly, there have been several missions of Kenya's security teams working with others, because remember, this is a multinational security support mission. It's not a singular mission of Kenya. So there's a lot of consultation that is going on, and there are a lot of countries that are committing to be part of this process going forward. So the deployment will be strategic, will be phased out, and we are sure that with time, the experts on security deployment will be able to have enough boots on the ground to deal with the crisis.
Under what legal framework are they going into Haiti? There was a reciprocal agreement that was signed with the Prime Minister who resigned, Prime Minister Henry. There is a new Prime Minister in force. The President, in an interview with the BBC, did say that he did receive in writing a go-ahead from the Transitional Presidential Council that is in place. But what is that still in force with this new Prime Minister having been named? And is it under the UN or a National Security Council?
First of all, it's under the UN Security Council. Remember, there was the resolution 2699 in 2023, which actually triggered this whole process. That resolution of the United Nations still stands, and it is the anchor framework that is guiding this process of deployment in Haiti. Secondly, I think it is important to note that, yes, there's a reciprocal agreement. And one of the issues that I am aware of is that when the outgoing Prime Minister was talking about giving the authority or handing over authority to the Transitional Council, one of the issues was that the peace initiative that he had started would be adopted by the government, by the people of Haiti. And that is why it is valid, and that, together with the UN framework, is the basis upon which we are deploying.
So our officers going to engage directly? I know they are meant to be there to secure installations and transit systems, but are they allowed to engage directly with the criminal gangs? And by that, I mean...
This is something that they'll have their operating rules and guidelines issued in accordance with the security deployment regulations and within the framework of the UN parameters. So how they will engage, how they will behave, they're not going in a vacuum. They're being guided by principles and standards that they must adhere to. And by the way, it is important for us to note that this is not the first time that Kenya has been involved in a UN mission. We have myriads of this kind of. We had Namibia, we had Sierra Leone, they've been in Kosovo, they've been in East Timor. So we can talk of so many other places. They've been in DRC very recently. We have had forces in Somalia. Now, so it depends on the circumstances, and each particular case then is managed in accordance with the challenges at hand, but it is guided by the UN framework.
But this is not the typical mission that Kenya has been involved in before, because those were UN-led missions. This is yes, it has the UN authorization. It is a multinational mission, but aren't they reporting to a National Security Council in Haiti, the Haitian National Security Council?
Remember, this is it's a security support mission, all right? And the framework upon which they will work is negotiated. So all this aspect of how they will operate, the modus operandi, is not going to be a situation where you're making unilateral decisions. There's a framework that is agreed upon, a framework that is going to be followed to make sure that the deployment is in accordance with the expectations of the people of Haiti and with the United Nations. This is not a mission where the deployed people are going for what you might call straight-on combat. It is a security support mission. Definitely there could be encounters that may arise along the way, but the responses must be in accordance with the guidelines provided within the deployment framework and within the guidance of the United Nations operations.
All right, one final question before I let you go, Prime Cabinet Secretary, and that is the state of Haiti's healthcare system has been called into question. One of my panelists tonight, Joanna LeBlanc, recommended that the Kenyan administration put in place evacuation measures if needed. Do we have that in place should our officers be injured in Haiti?
What I can say is this. They are security experts. And I can tell you that these people are thorough. They go through a lot of detail. There's a checklist that they go through to try and make sure that they have covered each and every corner. So I can only plead to the Kenyan people in particular to understand that these are experts who are being asked to assist the people of Haiti, and in consultation with the people of Haiti, in consultation with the UN and other states that are willing and ready to support either financially or logistically, they are going through this detail very, very carefully in terms of what would be the situation in an emergency situation, how would they be handled, etc., etc. So this is not people jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim. These are people who are trained in matters security.
All right, and before I forget, Prime Cabinet Secretary, do we have 2,000 Haitian policemen coming to Kenya to train?
No, that is a strange one. We have not reached that level at all. And if they are going to be trained, we would not hide anything whatsoever. We would make it public, the way we have made it public, that we shall be engaged under the UN framework for deployment. So if indeed there's going to be any training program, we would make it public. It will not be secret. But as we speak now, there are no such 2,000 people training in Kenya.
All right. Thank you very much, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who also doubles up as the Foreign and Diaspora Cabinet Secretary. Happy Madaraka Day.